Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys a twin flame reading. This is going to be my take on the Celtic cross spread. So it's going to be probably different than some of you guys have seen out there, but I'm going to apply it to twin flames. So we're going to be taking a look at divine feminine and divine masculine energies. We're also going to be using a couple of different decks here today. I have a tarot card deck as well as some oracles here. This tarot card deck is made by Denise Jarvie, but the artwork is from Tony Carmine Salerno. And this is the guy, I think it's a guy, maybe it's not, I don't know. He makes or she makes the Gaia Oracle, as well as the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses Oracle. So I'm going to be using all three of those decks here today. And as you can see, I've combined those two oracles. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle these cards. I haven't even started, so I'm not going to take that one. This is going to be the position for the divine feminine and masculine. I'm going to do a specific card for each, and then I'm going to do an oracle card as well. This is going to be their current energy at this present time. So again, as usual, take the messages as they resonate. Not every position may resonate, so just take the ones that do and get rid of the rest. These are a little bit difficult to shuffle. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle these up a little bit too, because I'm pretty much just going to spread them out and pick cards, because it's just going to be so much easier to do that. Course. Okay, very difficult cards to handle. These are one of my newer decks, so they're not as broken in. Okay, so we're going to spread these apart and do the same. I just wanted to do these on camera with you guys. Sometimes I think it's important, you know, you feel like you're a part of it. Okay, so we're doing 10 different positions, so that's why I did 20. So that way we would get one for the divine feminine and masculine energies. And actually, I don't know, I just feel guided to do this. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to actually put these up here. And I'm going to okay. Okay, so I'm looking for, this is the current position, current energy for the divine feminine and masculine. And again, just take the messages as they resonate, okay? Current divine masculine energy. And I'm not going to read reversals, sorry. Okay, we have Three of Hearts, which is the Three of Cups. His current energy is the Three of Hearts, Three of Cups. Okay, along with what oracle card? With the Nine of Hearts, dang. Okay, so the Three of Hearts is the card of joy, and we have the Nine of Hearts, which is fulfillment, harmony, and protection. So to me, both being in the heart suit, both a tarot and an oracle card, and of course they're both really positive. The Three of Hearts really is just that current energy for the divine masculine, where he could just be feeling really content right now. He could just be feeling really content when it comes to his actual environment. Now, I always say this, it's not a Two of Cups. So if you guys are not in a connection with your divine masculine and you're in separation, what I'm seeing here for this person is he's not necessarily connecting to anybody else on a deeper level. He's just more or less maybe partying. He may be in social gatherings. He may be in the public eye in some way. Casual encounters, meaningless sex, partying it up, drinking too much, all those things. I mean, they don't have to be negative, but it just means that he's really not connecting to another person. And maybe he doesn't want to. Maybe he just wants to date and play the field. So that could be for the energy for some of them. But for some of them, it could just be really focused on other people, as in their work environment, or just having a good time. It might not even be about romance or sex or any of that stuff, okay? Because the Nine of Hearts does say fulfillment, harmony, and protection. Now, the nines are cards of solitude. So, I mean, the numbers of solitude for me. So for some of you, that's just another confirmation. It's not a 2. It's not them and another specific person. It's more or less them on their own. They are more solo right now. They're not interested in something real committed right now. So if some of you are feeling like your divine masculine isn't with you, well, then who is he spending time with? He might not really be spending time with anybody specific or significant, I should say. So try not to put so much thought or worry into the other person or if he is with somebody else. I'm seeing more of like this casual single energy and being quite content in that energy is what I'm seeing. Okay, so let's take a look for the divine feminine. Where is she at currently? She's in the Page of Hearts, which is innocence. So it's Page of Cups energy. Paired up with the Angel of Abundance. A steady flow of abundance is about to manifest. Fantastic. So the pages are creators. They're the creator of ideas and thoughts, and they're thinking about something, and they're thinking about something that makes them happy. Now, of course, the hearts could have to do with their emotions. So if she's not thinking about romance, she's thinking about something that's creative. It's not a Page of Wands, but it is a Page of Cups. So, you know, I guess it does have something to do with maybe her emotions, but it says innocence. As in, maybe she is just taking a step back. Maybe she's taking a step back and she realizes that maybe whatever she's wanting to do or whatever she's thinking and as far as creating for herself, because we do have the Angel of Abundance, which says a steady flow of abundance is about to manifest. So she might be in those thoughts as trying to manifest something from the universe, like bringing something to herself, but she's in that thought process. She's not really in that mode of going out there and taking some crazy action to get what she wants. I'm actually seeing that she's trusting the universe at this point. She's kind of withdrawn right now. She's more in her head. She's just kind of thinking. She just has more of that innocence right now where she's looking at things from an innocent perspective. She's not trying to be, such a doer at this time, especially when it comes to her emotions. She could be withdrawn right now in her emotions because she's healing. She may not want to partake in other romantic situations that are being presented to her. She's just taking time for her. Okay. So to me, it's like somebody who is taking time with their own thoughts and their own feelings. They're keeping things to themselves. They're just kind of reflecting. And the Angel of Abundance is saying that whatever, she's about ready to manifest something because of this energy. She's more calm and collected rather than frantic and full of stress and anxiety. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and see what the blockage is, the current blockage for the divine masculine at this present time. We have the Ace of Trees here, which is the Ace of Pentacles, and we have purification, water, emotional cleansing, rejuvenation. So these are the things that are blocking him at this time. We pretty much have earth energy and water energy. So what's blocking him? There could be a financial start or a career or something that has to do with the material world, that he's trying to start something or create something. And that might be a blockage for him right now. He might be stressed out because the abundance that he was after is either not coming, or it's on hold, or it's delayed for some reason. But he could also be putting so much focus on the material world and survival and money that now what's happening is he's taking away from his emotional self, because that purification water card is about emotional cleansing and rejuvenation. So if he's not making time to connect with his emotional self, then he's fully concentrated only on that Ace of Trees, which is just doing something else in the material world, creating, making that money, making those coins, all that stuff. So what ends up suffering is any kind of purifying that he needs to do when it comes to his emotional self. So he could just be running from his emotional self and not wanting to deal with that emotional side. And it's something that needs to be cleared right now. So he could just be putting his focus into that. So take either message that resonates there, okay? Now we're going to see the Divine Feminine, where she's at currently being blocked. With the Nine of Hearts. Wow, you guys both shared the Nine of Hearts in this reading. So the Nine of Hearts, this was a card that says stability. Now, the Nine of Hearts in this deck for me isn't really about wishes. It's more about feeling good on one's, on somebody's own. So this is about independence for me. It's not the Nine of Coins, which is really about independence. But to me, this is about somebody that feels really good and they feel really stable with where they're at this current time. So she may not feel that feeling right now. Goddess of nature, you reap what you sow. Your dreams are coming to fruition. So it's really cool because this is really about hopes and dreams, and this is actually telling her that you reap what you sow. Your dream is coming to fruition, meaning that if your dreams and what you want and your wishes and your desires are in that energy and they're not blocked, they will come to fruition. But if you are in this negative space where you're blocking this wish or you're blocking what it is that you really want coming through, that's what you're doing. You're blocking it from coming through. Why would somebody want to block something? Well, they either don't believe it. They don't believe that it can happen. They don't think that they deserve it. They don't believe that another person could actually possibly heal and change. Their own negative thinking can be getting in the way right now of them getting what they truly desire. And maybe they just don't get that they're a part of the problem. And so that's what the Spirit is saying, is that you reap what you sow. So if you are sitting there and saying, I want this, you know, if only, but then you're sitting there talking shit about, and I'm just using this as an example, about your Divine Masculine, talking about that he's a piece of shit and he's never going to change and all this other stuff, then do you see how you're reaping what you sow? You're totally counteracting your wish. Okay, I'm not saying everybody's doing it, but sometimes we can do that if we are angry, if we have unresolved issues still. So we think that we want something, we think that we're ready, and maybe we're not. And maybe that's why it's coming up as a block, because maybe the Divine Feminine still have a little bit of clearing to do, is what I'm seeing here. Okay. Now we're going to take a look at the past for the Divine Masculine. With the Ace of Hearts combined with Angel of Emergence. Okay, it says the Ace of Hearts is all just love, Ace of Cups energy. So this has to do with the past. This has to do with the Divine Masculine at one point in time really being vulnerable at one point in time. So you guys may have experienced that with your Divine Masculine, where he was loving towards you. And he, of course, he closed up later for some of you, but there was that connection initially. You literally got to taste that for like a second. And then, of course, you know, if he walked away or he, you know, whatever happened, got afraid and ran, it's then, you're left with that heartbreak of, oh my gosh, like what was? It was amazing. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's gone now. Because we have the Angel of Emergence, which means that he did emerge. He did allow this to come in, because it says it is safe for the real you to emerge. He felt safe with you at one time in the past, in this connection with you. He did feel safe to come out, just kind of peek out like a little turtle out of its shell. But then, you know, for some of you, swooped right back in because he didn't feel comfortable. So yeah, I think that it just coming up like that is, and of course in this past position, is just really saying that, you know, at one point in time, there was this connection for the Divine Masculine, and it may feel different for him now because he is now in his ego and fear-based thinking, but he did feel that at one time, he did feel safe enough to emerge into this love feeling with you. It's a beautiful message. Divine Feminine. Four of Hearts, depression. Goddess of Strength. Okay, so the Four of Hearts being the card of depression. I mean, that looks like a really sad card. And it's interesting because this deck is a little bit different than your traditional tarot. So I do have to honor this deck and its meanings. So the Four of Hearts really is just about somebody who's just sad and depressed over something that they no longer have. So this is a past position for the Divine Feminine. As in the past, she was depressed over some kind of a heartbreak because it has to do with the way she is feeling in her heart area. So it could be due to the fact that there's this amazing connection that her Divine Masculine pulled away from. And so that left her in a state of depression and feeling alone. And then we have the Goddess of Strength, which says, stand up for what you believe. You will gain respect by holding your ground. Okay? So what I'm actually getting here is that maybe the Divine Feminine put up with some things with the Divine Masculine. Maybe the Divine Masculine was starting to show signs that he was just, wanting to pull away from her. And so what it did is it created more of an anxiety within her. So when she really latched on, she really didn't want to let go. So she started exuding signs of desperation, not taking care of herself, somebody that the Divine Masculine just couldn't respect. So then that's why this is saying it's like the Goddess of Strength was with you in the past, trying to keep you strong during this time. You were so sad that maybe you weren't thinking like with logic and reason that, you were coming across possibly as desperate and hanging on to a situation that was wanting to leave. And sometimes when we're so sad and we're so concentrated on not wanting to feel sad anymore, sometimes we make really awful decisions. And then of course, later we hate ourselves for it. It's really difficult. It's something that just happens. At the time, we can't see it, but it's sometimes we just fall victim to it. But the Goddess of Strength is just saying, I'm still with you. Okay. You don't have to continue to take this into the future with you. You don't have to continue to take this depression into the future, and you don't have to take this disempowerment that you may have felt in the past. You can continue to use this strength that I lended you then and that I'm still lending you now. So stand up for what you believe. You will gain respect by holding your ground. Okay. And so for some of you that could even embody this God of Strength being with you still, because maybe you're in such a sad state over your Divine Masculine leaving you that maybe once he tries to return and maybe he's not ready yet, or he's still with the karmic partner or whatever's going on, this Goddess of Strength is with you saying, don't give into your feelings of sadness and need and desperation. Stand up for yourself and hold your ground, because he still may not respect you if you allow him to just come back and you guys haven't worked any of your issues out, etc. Okay? It's not about cutting the Divine Masculine off at the feet. That's not what I'm telling you guys to do. But sometimes in order to gain respect, we have to treat ourselves with self-respect and demand it from others. And that includes your Divine Masculine. Sorry, people. It does. Just because someone's your twin flame doesn't mean they can shit all over you. And they shouldn't, even if they, you know what I mean? That usually doesn't even embody twin flames, people that are literally being abused. But, who am I to judge? There might be some twin flame connections out there that's just the level that it's gotten to. Now we're going to go into the, this is going to be the current environment that the Divine Feminine and Masculine find themselves in. The current environment. So this has to do with other people. Okay, so this is the Ace of Swords for the Divine Masculine. And the Goddess of Awakening. So when I say the environment, this is just, could be things that are happening as far as they're being affected by outside energies, influences, the universe, other people, etc. Ace of Angels is wisdom. To me, this is beautiful because this is really saying that this is actually an angelic guidance for the Divine Masculine here. It's almost like some kind of awakening. And I think it's interesting that has the Goddess of Awakening right there. In his current environment right now, he may be assisted right now by specific spirit guides or angels or the universe at this time to gain the wisdom that he needs. It's about some sort of awakening, because to me, the Ace of Swords really is about, you come to some kind of conclusion. You have an aha moment. You have a epiphany, okay? You start to understand something. You start to get to the bottom of something. And then we have the Goddess of Awakening that says there's a wondrous time of exploration, romance, and creativity. So this is about something being awakened within the Divine Masculine. It could also be in the form of an idea, as in he's got this new idea now to do something. It's some kind of a project or some kind of way to live his life. It could be some spiritual way of living his life, or just even a project. And so with this new beginning, now it's starting to awaken these things within him, which is exploration, romance, and creativity. So a part of this could be him tapping back into this Ace of Hearts energy where he once did feel safe. Okay, so it's almost like the universe or his angels are working, trying to awaken that within him once more. Okay, it could be that, but it could also just come into the form of actual creativity as well, with projects and things that he'd like to do, or just new spiritual understandings. A new spiritual awakening is what I'm getting. Okay, so Divine Feminine. Okay, so we have the Two of Trees. flexibility, which is the Two of Pentacles, which, as you guys know, is sometimes a twin flame card. And then we have the Angel of Union. And so it's kind of interesting. The Angel of Union, a partnership is blessed and destined for greatness. So I think it's really cool that we're getting both of those cards together. But what I'm getting here is that the Divine Feminine may find herself, when it comes to her actual union, okay, even though she knows that it's destined, it doesn't matter. She may be struggling as far as trying to figure out how to be flexible with it. How do I work with this? Okay, so that's great. I have a twin flame. It's great. This is destined. He loves me, but he doesn't know it yet, etc., etc. Okay, so the Two of Trees is really telling you that you got to get grounded, for one. As we can see these trees, they're really needing to get grounded. But it has to do with flexibility. This is divine feminine and masculine energy together. So it's like really blending the energies, spending time in masculine energy, spending time in feminine energy. Sometimes that is a part of the twin flame journey, is to go like weave in and out of both of those energies. Sometimes it's kind of like anything in life is about balance. So it's like, how are we to grow if we don't experience masculine energies or ways of doing things or thinking about things? And it's the same thing for the masculine. How is he going to get softer or more to trust himself or become more receptive to having to being emotional if he doesn't step into some divine feminine energy? So what Spirit is saying here with your current environment right now, you may be going through different things, or things may be coming at you that are creating you to be more flexible, to create you to be more flexible when it comes to this union, okay? There could be things that are hard lessons right now, kind of like, how flexible are you? How serious are you about this, particular path, etc. So some of you may feel like you're not sure where you're at on this path. You're not sure where you're at with your divine masculine. So Spirit is asking you to be a little bit more flexible when it comes to the way that you're thinking about things. Try not to be super attached to a specific outcome, which we always say, and try not to be so rigid to where you're not even soft. Or because a lot of people will say, oh, I want my divine masculine to come back, but then you're cutting him off at the knees even before he can make the contact, because you're feeling pissed off or you're feeling angry. So it's like, if you guys don't feel like that energy is being received from your divine masculine, if you're hard and you're hating him and you're pissed off, why on earth would he pick up the phone and call you? He wouldn't. So it's about softening your energy and doing whatever you can to clear yourself and to clear your side of the street. So that way, if you really do want that person may be able to come back when they're ready, and if they choose to do so, if that's making sense. Okay. Now we're moving on to things to consider. These are things like things to work for or work on, things to consider, things to just think about. Divine masculine here. 7 of Angels. And the Angel of Guidance. Okay, so the 7 of Angels is the 7 of, what is this? 7 of, I'm so sorry. Oh, it's the 7 of Swords. I'm like, it's really hard because they don't say the suit, so I got to figure out what that is. That's the 7 of Swords. Okay, so progress. So I think it's really interesting because usually the 7 of Swords is a card of somebody who's sneaking around, somebody who's not necessarily being truthful. But this card says progress. It's very sweet, okay? So things to consider for the divine masculine is that things have been a struggle so far. That's what 7s are. 7s are numbers of struggle. 7s are cards that we need to work on something. We may need to take a break. We may need to figure out how we're going to proceed forward, etc. So the 7 of Angels, to me, with that progress keyword, is really saying that the divine masculine may have made mistakes so far with his behavior and the way that he has gone about certain situations and things. But he is making progress nonetheless. He might not always make the right decisions, but he's still making progress. He's learning. And as long as you learn from your mistakes, you're making progress, is what I'm getting. Okay? Angel of Guidance is saying a renewed sense of direction and purpose will soon manifest. So that's fantastic. So through these mistakes and through these trials and errors, their angels are guiding them and telling them that a renewed sense of direction is going to present itself soon. So as long as he is continuing to grow in a positive way from these mistakes, he can be guided in the right direction, is what I'm getting. So that's something for him to consider. Learn from those mistakes. Learn from things. Don't regress. Don't continue to make the same shitty mistakes. Make sure that you don't make those same mistakes, or at least try not to make those same mistakes moving forward. Okay? Divine Feminine. It's funny. She is a 7 as well. Interesting. Okay. So 7 of trees here, of course, is the 7 of pentacles, contemplation. She is also, this is something for her to consider, which is things have been difficult. She's worked hard, especially in the 3D world when it comes to either her physical body, when it comes to her career, whether it comes to, just who she is in the 3D world, the very 3D experiences of ego and fear and all this crap, okay? So she has finally gotten to a point where she's worked her butt off and she's done a lot of work, but now she needs a rest. Now she needs time to contemplate her next move. Things have been difficult, but now she's worked her butt off and now it's time for her to go, I'm not sure what I want to do moving forward. So this is something for her to consider, that she needs time to contemplate. Try not to push so hard. Then we have the jewel within a teardrop. Appreciation, spiritual and emotional reconnection. So this just means that it's about appreciating the journey. That's what Spirit's telling her. It's about appreciating the journey, the spiritual and emotional reconnection to herself as well as with Spirit. So I almost feel like this is this period of contemplation for her. She may want to take a break right now and realize that, you know what, maybe there's still some work that I need to do. Maybe there's still some emotional and spiritual work that I need to tend to. So this is a period while I'm waiting on this union, or I'm waiting for my divine masculine to also work on his issues. I still have some things that I could work on too. So this is actually something for the divine feminine to consider, is that maybe there's things that she still needs to work on. That's what I'm getting. Okay, now we're going into what's just ahead. So basically some future energies for the divine masculine. We have the Page of Stars. The Page of Stars with lost love. Okay. Okay, so the Page of Stars. This is the Page of Wands, curiosity. Okay, so moving forward, he may be going into an area where he is just really starting to think about what he wants to do creatively. I think we saw some energies which had to do with creativity before. The pages are about how they have ideas to do things. They think about things. This is also new concepts, new beginnings. So there could be this curious nature that he is in. He's just moving forward with this curiosity as to these ideas that he's having, and he's wanting to put them forth into the universe in a creative way to create something for himself. But we also have the energy of lost love, surrender, healing, release. So what I'm seeing here is that moving forward for him, he knows that he lost something. He knows that he left something behind. He knows that he did someone wrong. He knows that he handled a situation poorly. So he does feel this lost love moving forward. So what I want to tell you, divine feminines who are watching, that this is something where it's a confirmation from Spirit right now that your divine masculine isn't just moving forward with just no care for you, not a thought, not a second thought, okay? There is definitely this somewhere within them, okay? Somewhere within them, they're feeling this loss. They're feeling this heaviness when it comes to this situation that's gone or over or whatever it is. So they're going to be working on healing this and releasing this and surrendering this. Now, I know you guys are probably getting scared, like, well, what does that mean? Moving forward, he's going to forget all about me. Not necessarily. What I'm seeing is that he does feel the loss here, but this is about you surrendering and you releasing, okay? So when you do that energetically and you're no longer hanging on to all the fear and all the sadness and all the heartbreak and all the betrayal and trying to hold him accountable and all this other stuff, you release him energetically, as in now it's like the energy between the two of you is now lightened. And now when people feel that release, it's almost like they feel like they can see their way. They can see things that they want suddenly. They can finally start to see the light in situations. I love that we have the light here too. They can start to think about things again. Sometimes this energy is so heavy, tied up with somebody else, that once that other person releases them and stops the, constant obsessing or holding them accountable for all the things that they feel or whatever, they really energetically feel that. At least I'm speaking from personal experience when it comes to people. Like when people energetically let me go, I can feel that shit. And then I'm just kind of like, And then it gives me room to figure out, what do I want to do? Do I want to contact this person? Do I want to go? What's going on with this person? It just does that. It's just the law of attraction, even at work. I mean, it's just the laws of the universe and energy. So that's what I'm talking about here is this surrendering and this releasing could be on your part, and you are healing yourself and you're healing the connection as well, moving forward for you and the divine masculine, giving him the inspiration or the idea to actually want to either heal this and make contact with you or come back together with you. But because that's his future energy and it has something to do with you. That's just what's coming up, you guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at the divine feminine. Where is she at energetically in the future? We have the Eight of Angels, which is the Eight of Swords, confusion. But we have harmony, which is power, self-confidence, and productivity. So we have some kind of like counteractive cards here. So the Eight of Angels, as we know, is somebody who feels stuck, but they do it to themselves, okay? So they're a little confused, which is why they're kind of not making any big moves. They're not sure what they should do moving forward. They don't know if they should retreat. They don't know if they should continue on their path. They don't know what they should do. So I'm seeing a little bit of confusion for the divine feminines, but realize that you have the power to get yourself out of this thinking. It's just in your head. It's not really what the reality is. It's just in your head. So in order to gain harmony and power and self-confidence and productivity, you got to get yourself out of this way of thinking. You got to find a way to get yourself out of this trap that's in your mind. You have to release yourself, and you have to do it to yourself. And I know that the Eight of Swords came up just the other day in one of my other readings, and I don't know if it was for the divine feminine or masculine, but whatever it is, it's like we have the power. We have more power than we realize. It's like no one is doing this to us. We're doing it to ourselves. And so as long as we realize that we have our own power to get out of that, then we suddenly create all of this harmony, power, self-confidence, productivity. Okay, so we are going to take a look at what our strength and power is in the situation. Like, what are our strengths and powers? We have the Ten of Stars. This is the Ten of Wands for the divine masculine. And we have Goddess of Psychic Protection. What you believe, you create. No one can harm you. And we have hoarding. Interesting. 10 of Stars, 10 of Wands energy here is really all about being overburdened. And I think this came up for the divine masculine just the other day. It's kind of like this attitude of, my life is, I have just too many things going on. I'm stressed, or, I gotta do this and I gotta do that. So I don't have time for you, or I gotta hold on to this relationship or this house or this marriage or whatever it is, because it's too much stress. It's too burdensome, whatever the deal is. When really he should be getting out of it. He's really staying stuck, and it's an excuse, okay? Which is why I feel like the Goddess of Psychic Protection is coming up and saying, what you believe, you create. No one can harm you unless you believe that they can harm you. So to me, this is self-imposed, as in this actually disempowers the divine masculine. This is actually where he is not strong. I'm seeing that he takes on other people's burdens. He takes on the stress of others. He stays stuck in situations that he knows aren't good for him. And he does it to himself. And so it's this way of thinking. And then, of course, the key word is hoarding. And what is hoarding? We hold on to things that no longer serve us. So we're doing it to ourselves. So really what I'm seeing here for strength for the divine masculine is that he is not strong at this time, because this is what he's doing. He's disempowering himself with this energy. Okay, so that goes really for you divine feminines out there that know that your divine masculine is in a karmic relationship. So the excuses that he's giving you, just realize he might not be coming from a bad place, but that's where he's really stuck, is he's trying to, like, he's either not interested in getting out of the bullshit, or he does want to, but he just doesn't have the strength at this time. So it just sucks because no one wins in that situation. Okay. Let's look now towards the future environment for the divine mass. No, this is, wait, I'm sorry. This is for the strengths of the divine feminine. I was about ready to jump past that. I don't know, I'm just feeling this one. I love it. Okay, this is the strengths of the divine feminine at this current time. The universe expansion. The universe is all about, it's the world. It's all about closing out chapters and going through new cycles, expanding within this universe, okay? So that is her strength, as in she can move forward. She's not staying stuck. She doesn't want to stay stuck. Goddess of the unknown. A new chapter of your life is around the corner. Remove fear and embrace the unknown. Are you kidding me? I mean, this couldn't come more perfectly with this card. The universe is all about going through new doors, new opportunities that are opening up for us, new chapters. So even though she's not sure about what's going on, even though she's not sure what's in store for her, she is not going to let fear let her, or the unknown, hold her back. That is her strength. Her strength is, I'm moving forward. The universe is full of potential and endless opportunities, and I'm going for it. So she's very, very strong. So if you're not feeling that way, it's time to get into that energy. This has to do with the environment for the divine masculine in the future. We have the, what is this card? The acceptance harmony. Oh yeah, this is the temperance card. Sorry, I couldn't think for a second. It's the temperance card, acceptance harmony. So this is just kind of like, you know, it really looks like somebody is in that meditative state. They're in harmony. They're accepting things for how they are at the present time. They're patient, etc. So there's that for him. And we have the search, feeling lost, confused, and lonely. So where his future environment really embodies him feeling lost, confused, and lonely. He's still in search of something. So you want to know how he's going to get it? He's going to have to go within. He's going to have to get calm. He's going to have to get balanced again. He's going to have to get into that position to where he is looking within himself, searching for things that are outside of himself. Those days are over. They're over. Okay. I don't know how many times he's going to have to go through it to realize that his happiness is not outside of himself. It's within. Okay. So some of your divine masculines may really be faced with this coming up in the future in their environment, as in their environment and the people that are in it or the people that they're spending their time with are no longer fulfilling them. And so now what they're going to do is they're going to accept this and go within and seek their own harmony within. It's very beautiful. Divine feminine. We have the moon illusion matched up with remembrance. This is interesting. Remembrance, resurfacing of past feelings and emotions. Wow. With the moon illusion. Kind of like Dark Night of the Soul when I see that. So I think it's interesting that it's coming up that way. So in the future for the divine feminine, don't get scared, people. It's just basically saying that, of course, you know, there may be these resurfacings or resurface of past feelings and emotions. And some of them may feel a little dark where you're not sure how you feel about something. So somebody may resurface from the past. Past emotions may come up again as, I thought I worked that shit out, but maybe you didn't, okay? And so the moon is encouraging someone to do that shadow work, that dark night of the soul. Get through the illusions. Look past the illusions of a situation. Deal with your fear. Deal with these issues from the past. And once we do that, we can clear them. So the divine feminine is also doing work. That's what I see for both of them. They're both doing the work in the future, in their environment. And it's because there could be things in their environment that trigger them to get to that point. This is going to be for the divine masculine in regards to his in regards to his message for the advice right now, like the action or the advice to be taken at this present time. The Eight of Trees, which is the Eight of Earth, which is somebody who's just basically working. They're working on their craft. They're in school, so they're just continuing to put their nose to the grind. They're just doing what they need to do in order to work on themselves, work in their craft, whatever it is. That's the advice for the divine masculine. Just concentrate on your skills right now. Just try not to get taken down with other things that, you know, probably aren't good for you anyways. Try not to get distracted with meaningless situations, partying too hard or whatever. Just really try to stay focused on your actual work. And we have Angel of Vision. Someone is not revealing part of the story. Trust your feelings over what others say. Okay, so what I'm getting here for the advice for the divine masculine, it's like these angels are telling him that when it comes to other people, they may not be being completely honest with him. And so he's really going to have to try to just rely on his own inner guidance when it comes to dealing with other people. And I'm seeing that it probably has to do with either his personal relationships or the people that he works with. And so again, it's about trying not to figure things out so much by the way that we see things. It's trying to figure out the way that inner guidance that tells us that something's not right, that something's off, whatever that is. So it's just telling him that's the advice when it comes to moving forward. Pretty much on this journey and in life is to not take things at face value, really to trust more on your intuition when it comes to dealing with other people. Okay. But yeah, it's about just putting the nose to the grind and working on something. Divine feminine. We have the Knight of Angels, which is the Knight of Swords. Love it. Okay, so the Watcher, this is somebody who sees things, okay? So the Knight of Swords to me is somebody who is like, they do something. They take action. To me, it's one of the most... not energetic, but one of the most forceful knights of the entire tarot. But of course, this is saying Watcher. So to me, it sounds a little bit more reserved than a regular tarot deck. But this is somebody who just sees the truth for how it really is. They're logical. They're not getting caught up in their emotions. So that's what the advice is to the Divine Feminine at this time, is to make sure that it's interesting. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Do you see this? These beams coming out of their eyes. I almost feel like this is also a message for the Divine Feminine too, for some reason. So I want you to hear this again. Somebody's watching. Someone is not revealing part of the story. Trust your feelings over what others say. Wow. Huh. So that's telling the Divine Feminine too, is to just watch. Don't listen to what other people are telling you. Watch them. Watch what their actions are. Watch the way that they say things. Try not to listen to what they're saying. Really feel it with your intuition, your gut, what they're truly doing or what they are meaning, basically. So it's almost like a little bit of a warning. But it's really about getting more into your logical frame of mind as to see the way that things truly, truly are in their highest truth, which sometimes people can give us a load of crap and just a bunch of excuses. And it's about not getting caught up in the emotion in it. It's about not getting caught up in the illusion of boo-hoo, I feel sorry for this person. This person's just got, they're just going through such a hard time. No, I mean, they are, but like, does that mean that they should be stuck and stay stuck in that situation forever because it's a karmic? No. They should basically make a decision and get off their ass and choose you if that's what they're telling you that they want to do. That's what they should do. So if they just say it over and over and over again, they might be something else that they're not telling you, which is why they're not leaving that karmic relationship. So it's about kind of pulling away and watching to see what happens instead of relying on what you're being told. Now, this doesn't have to just be for Divine Masculines, what they're telling you, but that's just coming to me right now. Which is, if they're telling you one thing, but they're doing another, there could be something more going on there. There might be something that you just don't understand. So it's about pulling back and watching the actions rather than listening to the bullshit. Okay? God of Reflections. The qualities you see in others are simply your own reflection. Wow. That's twin flame to me whenever I see this card. It's about reflection. Do you see the reflection that she's looking at? It's her twin. It's the man. So this right here is saying that, it is time to watch your reflection. So if there's things that are happening right now in your world, especially when it comes to your Divine Masculine, if there's things that he's doing or ways that you're feeling a certain way, you're feeling rage, you're feeling uncomfortability, you're feeling sadness, whatever that is, it could be that there's something unresolved within yourself. And so you need to really pay attention to what that could possibly be. Now, that doesn't mean that the action or the words that he has spoken or taken, hasn't affected you and that you don't have a right to react or feel that way. But sometimes we fly off the handle immediately. And I am just a pro at this, by the way, of taking a lot of things personally and totally out of context when people may have not meant it that way. It's just the empath in me. I just tend to do it. It sucks, but sometimes, I don't know, it just sucks most of the time, actually. Anyway, so my point is, it's about really taking a hard, deep look at yourself and going, God, why did I take that so personally? Why did I feel attacked when that person said that to me? Why did I take that into my soul and literally like rake myself over the coals when this person did this to me? Okay, it's really telling you to take the time to reflect on the things that people are invoking within you. Okay, that's what that's saying. Okay, last position. This has to do with the overall message from the universe at this time in regards to this twin flame journey. Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. This is the Divine Masculine. And then we're going to go with the Divine Feminine. The Teacher, Clarity. This is the Hierophant. Okay, the Hierophant actually came up earlier in another reading that I just did about the Divine Masculine. This one tends to come up a lot for the Divine Masculine, and I'm really starting to feel like it definitely has something to do with his family values and also commitment and marriage and just traditions, period. But this one is saying the teacher as in clarity, okay? So overall, what the universe is telling him is they're trying to teach him something. That's what they're doing. They're trying to teach him something through the experiences that he is going through at this present time. They're trying to give him clarity, spiritual clarity more than anything when it comes to this journey. So overall, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to teach him something. Okay, but also what I'm getting is that that's like what he signed up for before he even came here. He wanted to learn. So if he's not learning those lessons, the universe is not going to give up. They're going to continuously try to put him in that, in that way or that road or that path of learning something. And we have Goddess of Oneness, which means someone you love is thinking fondly of you at the moment. And of course, we know that's probably the Divine Feminine who's thinking about him very fondly. Regardless of the shit that he's done, she still loves him and she's still thinking fondly of him if she can find it in her heart to do that right now. Last message for the Divine Feminine. Six of Trees, which is Six of Pentacles. I love it. And Goddess of the Sacred Path. Let go of logic and trust your intuition. I think it's really interesting because sometimes when I do these cards, it's almost like a little bit of a contradiction will come up. Okay. So when we were talking about this is the Knight of Angels. This is somebody who needs to get very clear and be logical about what it is that they're thinking or what it is, like really take the time to see something. And I think it's interesting because I try to interpret the Knight of Angels as I would the Knight of Swords in a regular tarot, but it's almost like Spirit saying, no, no, no. We wanted you to see the Watcher. That's really the meaning of this card. It's the Watcher, somebody who doesn't speak actually. This is somebody who withdraws, goes within, and watches what people does. That's what they do. They watch what people does, watch what people do. Okay? They don't really take a lot of action. They're watching. That's the reason that card has that title, because that's what it means in this deck. Which is why we are now getting let go of logic and trust your intuition. Well, we can do that when we have this Knight in this deck because this Knight watches. This Knight goes within. This guy or this goddess goes within, this Knight goes within. They let go of that logic and they trust their intuition instead. So that's what the universe is telling the Divine Feminine to do, is to trust that intuition that you have. Now, it doesn't mean to throw all logic out because you need to have a good balance of emotional thinking. I think when it comes to the emotion, I think that the Divine Feminine has a tendency to throw all logic out the window. And I believe that a lot of the messages that have come up the last few days have really been indicating the Divine Feminine to hold or to get more into her logical space to outweigh the emotions because they're so severely lopsided. But when it actually comes to your intuition, that's different than emotion. That's why Spirit's saying, let go of the logic when you need to trust your gut instincts and intuition when it comes to guidance with moving forward on this journey. We also have the Six of Trees, which is the Six of Pentacles. This is all about give and take, receiving, okay? So this is telling you moving forward on the spiritual journey, don't block yourself from receiving, okay? Make sure that you are receiving just as much as you're giving back. So if you're in situations that just don't seem right, where you feel like the other person is just taking way too much and they're not giving enough back, or you feel energetically drained around people, or you just feel like a situation just isn't ripe at this time to be able to give to you what you truly need to receive at this time, go with your instincts on this. Trust your intuition on moving forward, whether it's by yourself or waiting or whatever. Just trust your intuition on this path when it comes to the things that are available that want to come to you on this journey, okay? So I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading and I hope that it made sense. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks a lot.